Explain your approach to maintaining optimal goat and cattle health and biosecurity.
What I've realized today, many people do not take it as a business sort of kind of an enterprise. You find people are doing it as a backyard something that they should just put in money and make their money rest there, which shouldn't be the case. Farming is a business, and as you approach your other businesses in other sectors, this is the same way this livestock farming has to be conducted. You need to get the knowledge about whatever you want to do. If it is a piggery farm, look for knowledge. There are so many experts currently. There are so many people that are putting up work on YouTube, different media channels, different TV stations, different radio stations. Listen to those people. If you can't have them, look out for them. Let them come to you, advise you, give you the knowledge about whatever you want to do, because these projects are not the same in conduction. They don't require the same things. They don't require the same approach. It is not all about the money that is going to work for you. You need the knowledge, and once you have the knowledge, you're good to go. Like for example, you're setting up a cattle farm. You're going to need grass that is downward grass for grazing. If you're setting up a goat farm, you're going to have to have fodder that is in form of shrubs, that is in form of small trees. You do not need grass for the goats, but on so many occasions you'll find them at different farms eating the grass, and you will not know because you've not gone out to look for knowledge. So that is one important aspect. When you're going into a cattle farm, you need to know what exactly you want to invest in. There is goats, there is cattle for beef, there is cattle for milk, there is dual purpose cattle that do both. So you need to identify what you want to invest in. Identifying what you want to invest in goes hand in hand with the resources that you have. You'll not tell me you want to invest in beef cattle or dairy cattle when you do not have enough resources in form of land to grow the pastures you're going to feed the animals. I've seen people here in urban centers setting up a small farm at their residences, but you find that they do not have any resources or any pastures that they're going to feed the animals. They are going to start buying the pastures from different people, and at the end of the day, you're finding out that the inputs are going to outweigh the outputs that you're getting from this farm. Sometimes you end up shrinking and the enterprise going down. That is one other aspect. You need to understand, actually, the whole thing is about understanding what you want to do and how you have to go about it. You're going into goats. You do not know quite what they eat. You do not know how they are supposed to sleep. You do not know how they are supposed to be taken care of, the deworming, those management bits, housing, hygiene, and all those other factors. They are so important going into this aspect of farming. So you need to have a person that you're going to move with when you're undertaking these projects. And another advice I would give to people: do not seek for knowledge from so many people about these projects. If you have a person you want to move with, go with that person. If you know what they are offering and you've had or you've seen them do what they do, you go with that person. You're going to seek knowledge from different people and you'll end up in stagnation because each of them has their different ideas. You choose one person, move with that person, let that person take you through that kind of an enterprise. You will be good to go. Now, like for example, I have experience in cattle, goats, and piggery, but I do not have good experience in chicken. I'm not able to advise you about anything to do with chicken because I have not interested myself in doing that. So if you want to do chicken, I will also call somebody that I know is good at chicken. I tell you, this person is going to take you through this, I trust him. You go along with that person. If you want aquaculture, that is that kind of a business, I would also look for someone good at that. I recommend you that person. So it is not always that whatever you want to do, you have to look for different people, different ideas from different people to start what you're starting. This is not general other businesses that you're doing. People will mislead you. There is a lot of content creators who go and just talk anyhowly about these projects, yet they do not know anything about this. So you need to be careful about that as well. Yeah.
Okay. You as a person, how do you monitor and dress goat and cattle reproductive performance?
Now, first of all, I start with the breed. Different breeds here. Now, let's say, for example, a goat farm. Many people have different goat breeds here. Monitoring reproductive activity, I start with the breed. The local breeds that we have here, let's say the smallest African goats, the local Mubende goats, those goats take long to grow, and once they grow up, they take long to reach reproductive maturity. Whereas the exotic breeds grow faster and they take a short time to reach reproductive maturity. So in knowing that, I can be able to assess the reproductive activity of this kind of a goat farm. Let's say, for example, if I have a goat farm, knowing it that the gestation period is 5 months. If I have 10 goats, let's say, at the start, I would say in about 14 months, these animals should be giving birth at least twice. Okay, let's say 3 times in 3 years. That is a period of, 3 times in 2 years. That is a period of 24 months. So if an animal does not perform to the least expected in that kind of a time, I would consider that as reproductively poor. We would assess other factors like nutrition, the health of that animal, generally those factors, to see if it is not about the animal or if it is about the animal. Then you can ascertain whether it is reproductively good or not. I hope I make sense in that and what you asked.
Detail your experience with various goat and livestock farming, feeding strategies, and nutritional management.
Okay, starting with cattle. cattle are animals that I call them quantitative feeders. Quantitative is, I mean, they feed on quantity. To raise a cow, you will need to have a lot of fodder for it. Nowadays, with the changing weather patterns and land reclamation and so on, you find that people cannot grow fodder to the required amounts for animals. If a person has space to grow the fodder, sometimes the weather is not going to favor them to grow this fodder. If they don't have the space, I mean, if the weather is not good and they have the space, sometimes several other factors can come into play and they don't reach their maximum potential in growing this quantity of fodder. So people adopt different ways of preserving fodder whenever they can have it. I've seen people who go after maize gardens that have where people have got maize from, and they can have the maize stubs. They collect them and make fodder for the cattle as a form of silage. Some other people make hay. So if you're into cattle, you must put that into consideration. Back in the days, as we were looking after our cattle, we used to have dairy cattle. Dairy cattle would eat during day and night. A cow is eating, of the 24 hours, it is spending at least 18 hours eating non-stop. That tells you, one, this animal has to have a lot of pastures for it to give you what you want out of it. Knowing that, you will have to look for different alternatives for providing it. Some people go for grain feed, they go for maize bran, what and what. Some people go for silage, ready-made or prepared silage. Some people go for fresh pastures as this. They take out their animals to graze. But now that is to the Asian people who used to have a lot of space. Nowadays, people are adopting zero grazing. Have your space like this, grow the pastures, harvest them, make silage, and feed fresh to the animals. Because you're not going to get the space. Even if you have the space, the weather is sometimes going to limit you. So that is a pattern to do with cattle. For goats, that is quite different. Though people here have not bothered to understand these things properly, but we call goats qualitative feeders. They do not feed on quantity like cattle. They are feeding on quality. And on feeding on quality, they are only picking out a few different things that have good nutrients for them. They are going to go out and pick from different plants what they deem is going to give them enough nutrition. So you'll find that out of the 24 hours in a day, a goat is going to feed for only 10 hours or less than that. So it is going to have to maximize its potential in these hours. Pick out good content from whatever it is going to feed. So that goes back to people that give the same environment to cattle and goats, while whatever is there is going to feed cattle and not goats. You're going to underfeed the goats because you think for them to go out there, graze on the grass that you've planted for the cattle, they are going to be benefiting, which is wrong. They are not going to be benefiting, and in the end, you're going to have malnourishment in the goats, whereas the cows are going to be doing good. So goats are qualitative feeders, and they eat what we call shrubs and small trees that have leaves that they opt for from